that's not as easy as it looks. Actually, it's a very fascinating little toy, a historical one called Le Pendu. It's a French one. It actually started life in the French Revolution, satirizing those who were beheading the unfortunate Frenchman who died there. And it started as a send-up of the guillotining, eventually went to America and became known as Flipperdinger. But it's a very simply made one in that form. All you need are these basic devices: straws, polystyrene balls, string, paper clips, tissue, glue, and a few simple tools. And here's how it's done. I'll compare it with the original so you can see what's happening as we go along. Take a box like that, and you make two holes, one there and one there, so that a straw will just fit into it fairly tightly. Put one on each side and glue it underneath, or stick it with sticky tape. You can see that's what I've done there. Cut them off at that level, and with more sticky tape or glue, you put a crossbar over, so that with the noose on it, just there, you've really made a nice tight little frame. You can use almost anything for that, but that's how I did it, and straws are very easily come by. Well, the blowpipe is the next bit. That's the one down here, and that's made out of a straw as well. And what you do is this: get a plastic straw, because they're good to work with, and if you cut off about 3 centimetres, that'll be the top part of the blowpipe, the upright part, and you fit it into the other one by bending the end over and just snipping off the corner of that bend, about as much as that. And you'll need a few straws, because you have to keep working till the hole that you get when you open that out again is just enough to slide this piece into. And that's got him. You can see it's nicely fitting in there, quite a tight fit. Now we need to block up the end. We don't want air coming out of there, so I just roll up a bit of tissue paper, poke that in, I should say, to plug it up, and cement it in there with a thin stick or a bit of wire soaked in glue. And that'll seal that off beautifully. Just wad it in there till there isn't any air getting out. And use the glue also to hold this in position, because you want a nice right angle bend there. And I use a glue that works on plastic and just cement up that hole all the way around. Once you've done that, leave it to dry. It'll be the blowpipe you want. Finally, when it is dry, fix that into this position. I've used both glue and sticky tape there to make sure my blowpipe is in position. If I take that off, you can see that the plug is in position there, the glue's around here, and it's a good blowpipe just underneath the noose. Well, now for Le Pendu himself, the little hanging man. The best bit of wire for him, I think, is a paperclip. Straighten it out. You'll need some pliers to help you, and make sure it's a good straight length of wire with a hook on one end. You can cut it so the long bit just fits in the bit of the blowpipe you've made, the vertical piece, one standing up in the air. It'll end up rather like this sort of shape and size. And you need to poke that through a little ball. Now these are out of a beanbag chair. They're the sort of stuffing you can get. But if you can't get any of that, this one, by the way, is just a bit smaller than a 1-cent piece. About a 1-cent piece size will do. You can make your own. It's a little bit more tedious, but it does work. Get yourself old scrap polystyrene foam, and with a piece of sandpaper, just work away at it and file it down. It gets a bit hairy, and it gets all over everything too, so do it outside. But you'll find that if you keep filing, it's really not too hard to make a decent polystyrene ball. You can also make it out of balsa wood if you have any of that around. Let's say you get your ball though. I've got some nice round ones here. Poke the hook all the way through the centre like this and glue it into position, and once it's dry it'll look like that. And that's Le Pendu himself. He goes in there. Now we're ready to play. And here's how you play. Hold it up there, or you can put it on a table and blow over the edge if you want it more steadily held. But you have to blow, and with one breath, get him up and hang him up there. It's not easy. You run out of puff. And when you've finally mastered that, here's a harder one. Hang him up there, blow him off, and get him to come back inside the blowpipe. That's not easy either.